Welcome everyone to another edition of AEW Dark. I'm Tony Schiavone with you once again as we bring you the exciting, never-before-seen matches from All Elite Wrestling, as well as the top stories as we head to another edition of AEW Dynamite, AEW on TNT this Wednesday. Dasha Gonzalez not with me this week. She'll return to her regular spot right here next week on Dark. All right, here's the lineup this week here on Dark. In singles competition, Trent of the team of Best Friends will meet in one-on-one competition Pentagon Jr. of the Lucha Brothers. From there, we have two bouts in the women's division. We'll see Big Swole in competition. She will go up against international star Shanna, a native of Portugal. Then it's the AEW Dark ring debut of Awesome Kong, along with Brandy Rhodes going up against the librarian Leva Bates. Our main event this week will be Kenny Omega. He returns to the ring for the first time since his brutal lights-out match against Jon Moxley, as Omega goes one-on-one against Jack Evans of TH2. All right, let's kick things off this week with Trent against Pentagon Jr. As we go to the ring for the call of the action, Excalibur joined this week by the chairman of AEW, Shawn Spears.
One fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Mexico City, Mexico, weighing 198 pounds, Pentagon Jr.
Well, thank you, Tony Schiavone, and what a way to kick off AEW Dark. Pentagon Jr. here in singles action, and myself, Excalibur, joined by the self-proclaimed chairman of All Elite Wrestling, Shawn Spears.
Christmas comes early for you tonight, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. This is an honor.
I know it's an honor for you. It's fantastic to be here on Dark, and what a way to kick it off. Probably the coolest guy with the coolest gear in AEW, other than the chairman,
Pentagon Jr. in his first ever singles contest here in AEW. Usually a tag team practitioner. We saw his brother Ray Phoenix last week on Dynamite. And we also saw the next competitor's partners.
And his opponent, being accompanied to the ring by Orange Cassidy from Long Island, New York, weighing 201 pounds, Trent.
Now, Shawn, I see you shaking your head there. Can you give us an insight into your thought process?
Look, I can't stand this Orange Cassidy guy. Something about him drives me crazy. His face is very punchable, that's all I could say. I am a fan, however, of Trent.
Somebody you've known for quite a long time.
Well over a decade, and if you ask me, and you should, out of the Best Friends, Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, and Trent, he's the guy to watch. I know a winner when I see one. If he decides to break out on his own, the world could be his, unless he runs into the chairman.
We saw him a couple weeks ago push Pac to his limit on Dynamite.
I will say that was one of the finest matches I've seen AEW so far, and spoiler alert, he's my pick to win tonight, baby.
Trent and Pentagon Jr. facing off here in singles competition. Referee Paul Turner draws the duties for this matchup. As things get underway, Pentagon Jr., a strong fan favorite in just about every city that we visit.
Agreed. I'm also interested in the fact that both of these guys are tag team specialists. So it's really a toss-up on whose match it could be. And there's the chance.
Trent, as you mentioned, tag team specialist, but early on in his career, he was primarily a singles competitor, where Pentagon Jr., wow, getting right up in the face of Trent. Pentagon Jr. kind of oscillates between being a singles competitor and a tag team competitor. He is very multifaceted in that regard.
In the world of professional wrestling, and especially in AEW, above all else, you need to be ready to deliver across the board. Tag team, 3, you need to be able to do 4-ways, you need to be able to do singles, you need to be able to do it all. And Pentagon just pissed off Trent. Here we go.
Trent lighting up Pentagon to start this match off. Now Pentagon reverses Soul, but catching him on the midsection, dropping Trent to a knee for a moment. Trent throws him off, leapfrogs up and over the top. Oh, Trent tried to roll through, but Pentagon had it well scouted. And Sean, you got a smile on your face.
Because both these men are insanely quick. Very quick.
Pentagon, typically the aggressor in his matches, but Trent, when he's pushed, and we've seen, oh, again, now getting pushed early on by Pentagon. When he's pushed, he can turn up the aggression as well.
And here we go.
Like with that back elbow.
Trent is very, very quick. Don't let him fool you. He's very quick, very calculated.
And Trent, despite being the younger of the two men, oh, the high enziguri. You saw Trent try to get that left arm up and block it, but Pentagon still able to power through, but puts on the brakes. Northern Light suplex, 1, 2 count. Kicks out. You saw Trent actually collect the leg of Pentagon to make him have to work even harder for that kick out. Great fundamentals, Sean.
Not only fundamentals, Trent has it all. He's got looks. I mean, the guy's as pretty as, I once knew this lady named Peggy Campbell. Blonde, gorgeous. He kind of reminds me of the male version of that. A very gorgeous male who has all the athletic ability in the world, very quick, very capable. Like I said, a guy to watch.
Oh, Trent blasting Penta across the jaw with that thrust kick and then the running knee strike. Trent really turning the pressure up on Pentagon. He and Pentagon have met in tag team competition numerous times, so I think he was able to kind of anticipate what he might be in for.
True, but he's going to have to keep the pressure on. He's going to have to keep a guy like Pentagon down because, as you can see, he's already up to his feet.
Pentagon putting the ropes between himself and Trent. Trent pulls over the top for the pescado, but eats the super kick instead. Pentagon doing a great job of baiting in Trent. Referee Paul Turner administering the 10 count out on the floor. 2. And now Penta setting up. Oh, brutal.
Come on, Trent.
Overhand chop. Oh, and the middle kick.
I hate his kicks.
Just like a crack of a bat across the midsection.
Better him than me.
And we've seen the aggressive streak of Pentagon Jr. We've also seen the aggressive streak of Shawn Spears in But Pentagon does not have the mastermind that is Tully Blanchard in his corner.
Right, I know what you're doing. You're trying to bait some information, some strategic information on how we go about doing our business. You're not going to get it from me, Excalibur. You're not going to get it.
I had to try at least.
Once again, you failed.
Broadcast. Oh, God.
This I can admire. Pentagon using the surroundings, using the ring, using everything he can to get an upper hand on Trent. He's going to need to do that. He's going to need to take up the aggression. The aggressor is the guy that I'm thinking is going to pull this one out.
And a lot of awkward angles at the ringside area. We've got those steps on both sides of the ring. The ring posts not rounded off. They're actually squared off. And so there can be a lot of contusions or worse on the body should one collide with it.
Contusions, it's a good word. Surprising coming from you, but yet a good word.
Pentagon grabbing a handful of the cheeks of Chuck Taylor.
That's a fish hook. That's a fish hook. Respect.
And Pentagon trying to intimidate Paul Turner. And Trent up to his feet, now exchanging chops. I'm not sure that Trent necessarily wants to engage with a firefight, but seems to be gaining the upper hand.
Oh, these guys are hammering each other. This is great.
Just teeing off on one another, center of the ring. Trent hits the ropes, building up a head of steam. Pentagon one step behind. Oh, big lariat takes Pentagon down.
There's a shift in the momentum. There he goes. When Trent hits this point, this is where he's most dangerous.
And you can see that look on his face. All business as Trent hits the ropes, gonna come over. Oh no! The common Geary from the floor catching Trent as he was going for the tope.
I would have saw that coming.
Pentagon had it very well scouted.
Oh, Trent, you better get out of the way, man. Don't let this happen, man.
Penta going for the stomp. Trent rolls inward, ducks the lariat, attempt half and half suplex. Dumps Pentagon, and now Penta rattled.
Don't waste time, Trent. Go, go, go.
Trent now once again building up steam over the top tope con hello. Both men down on the floor, but Trent getting the better of that exchange.
Lucky pulled that out. I don't mean to say it bad, but oof, that's a big risk.
Sean, I've noticed in your career, you typically do not like to leave the ring, do not like to leave your feet like that, as it, I believe, exposes you to more danger.
Whoa.
No.
Oh, Carol, yeah, okay, all right. Luckily, I let you finish that sentence. Yes, I think very calculated wrist. No unnecessary
Knee strike
ones.
to the back of the head. 1, 2. Oh, Pentagon kicks out.
It's close.
And that has been something that's been a hallmark of your career. Very, very cerebral wrestler, and has only increased since you've come under the tutelage of Tully Blanchard.
And you said it right there. It's his teachings, second to none. Come on, Trent. There we go.
Diving back elbow in the corner. Trent basing off the top rope, went for that swinging DDT. Pentagon with the thrust kick.
Is that a tooth? I think I saw a tooth go flying.
Catching Trent right on the chin. Ducks the lariat, ducks the second one. Sling blade coming around the corner. Pentagon hooks the near leg. 1, 2. 2 counters. Trent able to kick out.
Okay, maybe Pentagon's gonna win. I don't know. It's never too late for the chairman to change his mind.
It can go either way. Pentagon with the upper hand, but Trent so resilient. He can turn things around at a moment's notice.
It's not looking good right now, pal.
He's looking for that package pile driver. Trent comes out underneath, dodges this attack in the corner, grabs the head, swinging DDT, planting Pentagon. Hook of the far leg. 1, 2. 2 counters. Pentagon able to kick out.
What a battle to start off AEW Dark.
Trent really keeping up the pressure on Pentagon. I think he's probably been watching the footage from his match with Pac. He saw where he took his foot off the gas, and he realized now, in singles competition, there's no one to bail you out. Only yourself.
Who's your pick to win? Quick, go.
I'm going to say Pentagon, except Trent just blasted him in the face with the right hand.
Never nice to pick sides.
Pentagon escapes out the back door.
Oh, I could blow it a knee.
Pentagon has Trent strung up in the ropes. And a diving stomp. Driving his feet into the chest and then the head and upper body into the canvas. 1, 2. 2 counters. Trent able to kick out. And Pentagon.
The resilience you talked about from Trent.
Yeah, Pentagon realizes that Trent is just about as tough as they come. As we see here again, that double foot stomp, and just watch how Trent's head bounces off the canvas. Trent sent into the corner, that hard Irish whip, and the backstabber there from Pentagon. He's setting him up, perhaps, for the Destroyer!
That's it.
Hook of the leg. 1, 2.
Right.
No! Trent, never say die.
At a time like this, I gotta ask, what does it take? What's it gonna take to beat Trent? What else does Pentagon have to do? I've seen everything now. What has he got left in the tank?
He has not hit the package pile driver yet. That is what he was looking for earlier on. Trent was able to evade it, but now Trent, just clearly on roller skates.
I'll have you know, I would have ended this match against any of these guys about 5.5 minutes ago. 5 minutes and 40 seconds ago, I would have ended this match, one way or the other.
He's got Trent hooked up in the pump handle. Trent, rolls through inside cradle. 1, 2. Oh, Pentagon able to kick out. Oh, and he kicks the teeth out of Trent's mouth once again.
More teeth go flying.
Good thing we have a dentist on staff here.
I get
Irish
the
whip
reference.
to the corner. Sexy Chucky knee. Trent coming out of the corner like he was shot out of a cannon. Both men down. Referee Paul Turner checking on the ability of the competitors to continue.
What a battle. Even I'll have to admit that. What a battle.
Look at Trent just coming in. Such high velocity with that knee strike out of the corner.
Like I've been saying this whole match, Trent is going to pull this one out.
I believe you might have said Pentagon.
How dare you correct me in public. Come on, Trent.
Trent laying in the right elbow, but Pentagon with those kicks, concentrating on the upper and lower body of Trent. But now, just firing in. They're exchanging shots on the apron. It's the proverbial no man's land. Oh! Toe kick to the midsection.
Oh, no, you got to be kidding me. One place you don't want to be.
Pentagon has the arms locked in.
No.
Oh, the package pile driver on the ring apron. audience in Indianapolis saying what we're all thinking. Oh.
Holy hell.
And Pentagon, just laying in those shots to the kidneys, and now loosening Trent up, looking for that arm breaker.
Trent's neck might be broken, and here goes his arm.
Oh, just wrenches back. Trent is, I mean, he's barely in this. Yeah, he could barely get up to his feet.
Like I said, Pentagon's got this.
Pentagon, package pile driver attempt. Trent reverses. Crunchy! 1, 2, 3.
Yes! I told you, Excalibur. I know a winner when I see one.
Winner of this match,
Trent pulling it out by the skin of his teeth. What an impressive victory here for one half of the best friends. He might need a new arm, he might need a new neck, but he is etched a win in the singles column here in AEW.
I might have to have a little chat with Tully. I think I'll have Tully sit down and watch this. I think he too would be very impressed.
All right, a gigantic win for Trent of Best Friends here on Dark. Before we go to our next match, we want you to take a very close look at one of our competitors in the women's division, Shanna, a young lady from Portugal who now resides in France. Her story is one of hard work, determination, and perseverance. Here's a very special look at Shanna.
My name is Shanna. I was born in Lisbon, Portugal. I live in France, and I've been wrestling for 13 years. I used to watch WWF with my dad when I was little, and it kind of stayed in my mind, the whole wrestling thing, although the years went by and nothing happened in Portugal. There was no wrestling in Portugal. It's a bit bigger in France. The culture has been there for years and years and years. It's history. French has a really rich history. My first experience for training was a month long, every day wrestling for 8 hours a day. And I loved it. I loved it. It was so different from everything else that I had done before. I met a big high in 2010 when I did my first tour with American Wrestling Rampage. So that's when I met a little bit of popularity and growth in the indies. Then I had a little bit of downs until I got to Japan for the first time, and I became the first ever Portuguese professional wrestler to be champion in Japan, which is huge. For me, it's huge. For people back home, it's huge. In 2018, I met another downward spiral where I was thinking of quitting. I felt undesirable in multiple occasions. Any professional wrestler, we all have a dream of making it big, of making it to a bigger company. I tried out many times with the other company, and I was always told, we're going to sign you, but it never happened to me. I was always rejected. Then I had the TNA thing happening in the UK with Explosion. And what happened, basically, it was just Simon saying that that TV adds 10 pounds and you look too fat compared to the other girls. You don't look good on TV. So yeah, those were the moments I felt the most down and gave me depression, eating disorders, conflicts at home. I wasn't good. I wasn't feeling okay in my own skin. I decided to end my career in October. But what I didn't realize was that October would be not the end of my career, but the beginning of another adventure. When I got the call from AEW, I couldn't believe it. It was all I've ever dreamed of happening. I remember it was Kenny who called me, and I remember him saying, "You're signed." And I said, well, listen, I'm gonna go to sleep and I'll message you tomorrow morning and I'll ask you again if this is real. And the next morning I messaged him and he said, Sure is. I just couldn't bring myself to believe in it until I stepped in the first venue, and then I realized it is real. I'm here. Undeniable to me, in my case, it just means that everything I've ever worked for, nobody can ever take it away from me. I really, really want to prove all those people that rejected me and try to bring me down all these years that they missed out on something. AEW brought a smile to my face and made a dream come true. I can never thank enough. Kenny and Cody, the Bucks, Tony, just for existing and believing in someone like me who's never been given a chance.
We are very excited to have Shanna a part of AEW, but as you know, the competition is fierce. In just a few moments, Shanna will face Big Swole here on Dark. For more on her, let's take you right now to Alex Marvez. Alex?
Here with Big Swole, you have a huge match tonight against Shanna on AEW Dark. Want to get your thoughts on that also? Why do they call you Big Swole?
You know, I was in the back and I was watching a little promo, and I'd just like to say that everyone, and I mean everyone, has a story, Shanna. Everyone fought to be here, Shanna. I have conquered Crohn's disease. I had death itself to be here. I have fought and bled to be here. But it's about what you do once you're here. You see, because my name is Big Swole. I have a big personality and a swole mentality. That means that everything I do is grand. Everything I do is big. I'm big in my love, in my wrestling, in my faith. So this right here, this is greatness. And little girl, you ain't ready for all this.
This is Alex Marvez for AEW.
All right, well, this really has all the makings for quite a battle. So back we go to the ring, Shanna against Big Swole, right here on AEW Dark. Excalibur, take it away.
This contest is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Approaching the ring first, from Clearwater, Florida, Big Swole!
And one of the newest additions to the women's division here in All Elite Wrestling, Big Swole, making her way down the ramp to the ring. And Sean, I would have to guess that this match would be a little more evenly contested than Awesome Kong versus Leva Bates that we just witnessed.
Oh, we can only hope so. That was a massacre in the last one. I've heard a lot of good things about Big Swole.
Big Swole, top prospect here in the women's division, but she has her hands full with the Portugal's perfect athlete.
And her opponent, from Nîmes, France, Shanna!
And Shanna, announced from Nîmes, France, but born in Lisbon, Portugal, and now wrestling all over Europe and the United States, as she has been added to the women's roster here in AEW. And both of these women still looking for their first victory. Identical records. One singles loss, one tag team loss. So chances are we will see one of these women notch a victory in the win column. Sean Spears, who you got?
So essentially, this match is going to put one of these women on the map.
Yes.
It's going to put them on the path to climb the ranks here in AEW. I'm going to go with Big Swole. Big Swole.
Big Swole, 4.5 years of in-ring experience. Shanna would literally double that, 13.
There's no substitute for experience, though. Maybe I changed my mind. Maybe it's Shanna. I'll let you know by the end of the match who I pick.
Referee Rick Knox calls for the bell. Shanna and Swole. Scoring off very hesitant lock up there, but now Shanna exerting her power, but Swole actually turning it around. Swole, it's not just a nickname. She is extremely powerful.
Shezzy calls herself the Big Swole because everything she does is big and outlandish, and, well, if you ask me, clearly egotistical.
Wouldn't know anything about that.
About strength, working out.
Conditioning.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't. Yeah, I got you. There we go. Test the strength. I'm going to give her the edge. Come on, Swole.
Swole calling for the Greco-Roman knuckle lock.
And a dance.
Shanna content to oblige. They tie up. Shanna immediately pressing forward. She's got Swole on her back foot, but Swole bridging Shanna down. Oh, she's got the left arm captured underneath her own boot. Shanna tried to get back up to a vertical position. Swole, though, takes the left arm of Shanna. Shanna rolls through, goes underneath, maintains wrist control.
This is what I expected to see with these two women. A lot of technical wrestling. Here we go. You're seeing it right there.
And Shanna, trained by, I believe, Louis Napoleon in Nîmes, France, where she makes her home. And finding an unmoving opponent there where she went for the shoulder tackle on Big Swole. Shanna builds up ahead of steam. Swole goes for the trip. Shanna goes up and over the top. Bipasso. Swole went for the hip toss. Shanna lands on her feet. Arm drag takes down Swole. And a drop toe hold, driving Swole face first into the canvas. Portugal's perfect athlete looking pretty good here in the outset.
Swole's gonna have to recollect herself here. When in doubt, eye poke. When in doubt.
Oh, goes for the lateral press only. Oh, 1 count. Shanna sweeps out the leg. 1 count exchanged by both women. And Shanna walking down Big Swole. Neither woman wants to give an inch. And that eye poke, is that something that Tully taught you? Or?
None of your business. State of my personal affairs, Excalibur.
If I asked you about Joey Janela, would you be more forthcoming?
Oh my God, don't even get me started on Joey Janela. That guy's so bad, every time he wrestles somewhere in the world, a small puppy dies. Do you know how sad that is? I love puppies. I love little puppies.
Oh, sold it there by Shanna. She hits the ropes, comes charging in. Flipping neck breaker, takes Swole for a ride. Hook at the far leg, one. And almost immediate kick out there by Big Swole.
That's a momentum changer, though. That's a momentum changer. Now Shanna has a target on the neck of Big Swole.
Shanna laying in those right elbows to the jaw of Big Swole. Hammer throw into the corner. Swole elevates up and over Shanna. Now arm drag. Shanna, though, rolling through, using that experience advantage. Sneaks behind into a pinning predicament. 1, 2. Swole able to kick out. And now, oh, the pump kick to the face by Big Swole, just flattened Shanna. Cover 1, 2.
I don't mean to laugh, but I love it when someone gets kicked in the face.
Shanna got absolutely flattened by Big Swole. And Big Swole needs to build on this momentum, though.
She needs to keep on the pressure. She needs to keep the pressure coming here. Experience can have all the scouting done in the world, but a kick in the face can turn things around real quick.
And Swole, the front chancery applied. She's got it cinched in deep. Those powerful arms of hers trying to cut off the blood flow to the brain of Shanna.
Drag her down to the ground, though. Gotta get her off her feet.
Overhand elbow strike. A second one knocks Shanna down to her knees. And Swole with the boot placed on the base of the neck of Shanna. And Sean, can you speak to what the first victory here in AEW, especially for a younger competitor like Swole, would mean for her momentum, for her mental state?
Were you not listening to what I said earlier? I said it would put her on the map. It would put her in the ranking.
But what would it do for Swole's mental state?
How could you possibly get someone like that any more confident than they already are? But it would put her on the map. It would clearly put her on the path to contention, which every woman here in AEW is desperately seeking to do. Now, if I was Shanna, I would try and turn things around with a nice, beautiful standing drop kick. That's what I would try and do at this moment right now. That would clearly turn things around. I throw a fantastic and dangerous drop kick.
I've seen it before. Pinpoint accuracy.
Thank you.
And Shanna back to the ropes, that emphatic back elbow from Big Swole. the striking has been the real difference maker, as Swole has just been out clobbering Shanna, and that lariat continues that trend. Hook of the leg, one, shoot. Very lackadaisical cover there.
I love the aggression, not so much the cover. When you're trying to win, when you're trying to get your first win, you can't be doing that kind of stuff. Come on, that's where the inexperience comes into play here.
Yeah, she needs to really work on that follow through. So many big implications here for both of these women. They would love a shot at Riho, the AEW Women's World Champion, as Shanna elevates Big Swole up and over the top to the apron. Oh, but she stuck her head out, and oh, look at this. Swole with that hanging guillotine. Just trying to choke the life out of Shanna, and very nearly was counted out by referee Rick Knox on the 5 count.
Utilizing the full count.
Oh.
Utilizing the full count. That's good ring awareness, actually.
Swole tried to come in with that cutter off the bottom rope, but Shanna countered with that thrust kick, catching her right on the chin and stopped her dead in her tracks. Swole can't believe it.
She might have even caught her in the throat a little bit, which, of course, if you didn't know, could mess up your ability to breathe. The more you know.
Swole trying to shake up the cobwebs. Shanna likewise trying to recollect her thoughts to get back on the game plan. Rick Knox delivering the standing 10 count, but you can see Swole very unsteady on her feet.
I think the lights are barely on this one, but she's got enough steam, got enough left in the tank to throw a couple overhand, vicious overhand chops. I love it.
These women teeing off on one another. And Swole again with a striking advantage, but rapid fire shots. Went for a pump kick. Oh, look at that, Swole locking not for confidence, but Shanna follows up with that elbow. Swole went for the splash in the corner. Shanna escapes out the back door. Now Swole sticks her head out and pays the price.
I thought that little pep in the step was going to turn things around.
But Shanna elevating into the ring, coming off the ropes, elbow striking. She left her feet, she threw her entire body weight into it. She has been at a striking disadvantage this entire match.
You see how Swole fell? Her balance is off. Her bell's clearly rung. This might be Shanna's only opening.
Shanna building up some support from the crowd, but she could be burning daylight here. Oh, the drop kick across the face.
Love me a good drop kick.
Shanna just driving both of the feet into the face of Swole and riding that wave all the way out to the floor. Now Big Swole, center of the ring, trying to collect her thoughts as Shanna ascends to the top.
High risk maneuvers.
Shanna up to the top, cross body. 1, 2 count. Shanna lost the grip on the crossbody, did not transition immediately into a pinfall, and those precious seconds may have cost her.
A lateral press is key. You got to finish it off, got to hook that leg.
Now Shanna looking for that full Nelson. Swole recognizes the danger and back Shanna up to the corner, breaks free of the hold. Shanna pulls her back, but Swole answers with that back elbow. Big Swole charging in, sent up and over the top, and now hung up on the top rope. Shanna, overhand shot, and Big Swole.
This don't look good. This don't look good.
Big Swole in jeopardy here as she is strung upside down.
What is about to happen?
Shanna ascending to the high rent district. She goes up to the top. And Swole, the double foot stomps to the back of the head.
That's got to be it. That has got to be it.
Shanna needs to cover, and she does. 1, 2. Swole able to kick out.
I would have been able to kick out too. Excalibur, you 100% would have stayed down.
That is a guarantee, yes. I would have stayed down. But Shanna.
It might have been instinct that she kicked out with. I mean, I don't know what else.
You notice how close she was to the ropes. Didn't grab the ropes. The legs might be out in the head of Big Swole.
Body's on autopilot.
Swole breaks free, ducks underneath the ripcord. Went for the elbow. Oh, big palm strike there. Has Swole on roller skates. Shanna hits the ropes. Oh, Big Swole. 1, 2. No, Shanna kicked out. Oh, the knee. The knee right on the point of the jaw.
There's the cover. There's the cover.
2. No, Shanna once again kicks out. And Swole incensed, but she can't allow this to affect her. She needs to keep stringing together offense, especially against such an experienced competitor like Shanna.
Well, this is where experience comes into play. Both these women have to dig deep. Can't get too emotional, Swole.
Swole going for that discus elbow. Shanna, dragon suplex.
You gotta get all of it.
1, 2, 3, that is it. The high bridge from Shanna.
The winner of this match, Shanna.
What a battle.
Shanna securing her first victory here in AEW, and it was thanks to that experience edge. She countered that discus elbow, that rolling elbow strike. She caught her in the full Nelson and executed that dragon suplex, putting Swole on the back of her head.
Swole might have spent a little bit of too much time there, but nonetheless, we have a lady that has her first victory in AEW.
Welcome to the AEW Control Center, everyone. I'm Tony Schiavone. AEW Dynamite tomorrow night will originate from the Sears Center in Chicago, the place where it all began. Join us on TNT, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central. It will be, of course, Thanksgiving Eve. And according to AEW World Champion Chris Jericho, there'll also be a big celebration that he will host. Well, how big will this celebration be? Not nearly as big as the match that was signed at the same moment in the ring a week ago.
I pinned you and gave you your first AEW loss. Truly, I'm a huge Chris Jericho fan, and I never meant to embarrass you.
I am the greatest of all time, and I'll tell you this right now. You did put a blemish on my perfect record, and I want to rectify that. I am going to have a single match with you, one-on-one, face-to-face, where you can't pin me from behind, where you can't hit me with a foreign object from behind, just you and me, and I'm going to wipe the floor all around the arena with you, baby boy.
I don't deserve a title match.
You're damn right you don't deserve a title match. You don't. But what if it was a title match, huh, Scorpio?
No.
Oh, no, you don't want a title match?
No.
Oh, really? You don't think you can handle Chris Jericho one-on-one for the AEW Championship? Oh, you don't want it? Guess what? You got it! Chris Jericho versus Scorpio Sky next weekend in Chicago for the AEW Championship. It's official. We shook hands.
You may not think I have a chance, but maybe I've been waiting 15 plus years for an opportunity just like this. And maybe next week, I'm gonna beat you for the AEW title and turn Le Champion into Le Bitch.
It's official. Chris Jericho will defend the AEW World Championship against Scorpio Sky on AEW Dynamite. Also, this past week on Dynamite, we held our first ever Battle Royale. The Dynamite Dozen. 12 men vying to win the Dynamite Diamond Ring, the one-of-a-kind 7.85 karat gold ring encrusted with 89 round diamonds valued at over $42,000. What a prize. At the end of the Battle Royale, 2 men remained, 2 that will battle for the ring this week.
And we saw him being the elite. Hangman Adam Page actually removing himself from the elite, opting out.
Chuck Taylor's had a nice battle royal here. Good accounting of himself.
And now Kip Sabian sent face first into the rope. Oh, look at this. Penelope Ford.
Bad girl.
Oh, the super bat, and then the Gary taking Chuck Taylor off the apron, now down to 3.
Yeah. Take her shopping, will you?
He might be bringing home a diamond ring. Shanna!
Dynamic offense of the Jungle Boy, Jack Terry.
And now we're down to the last 2.
There we go.
Hangman Page, Jungle Boy next week in Chicago.
You brought up a good point about Hangman Page walking away from being the elite.
Page seems to be ready to do it right now. And I guess.
What the hell?
Oh, MJF. He was never eliminated.
MJF went out under.
Where was he? Under the ring? Did you see him anywhere?
Hangman Adam Page and Ed.
Oh, look out, Hangman wants to keep the fight going.
Referee's trying to separate and doing a good job. They're trying to get these men apart. They'll meet next Wednesday night in Chicago, Sears Center Arena. To see Wednesday, amazing diamond ring, almost 8 carats. It'll be a collector's item.
Only one like it in the world, and you'll see it live in Chicago next week, Thanksgiving Eve.
MJF sneaks into the finals as he and Hangman Adam Page collide to see who will walk away with this gorgeous diamond ring coming up tomorrow night. In addition, in what is sure to be a high-impact return bout, Kenny Omega looks to get back on track as he meets the Bastard Pack. Also, for the first time now, since the brutal attack at the hands of MJF and Wardlow, Cody, the American Nightmare, makes his return to AEW Dynamite. What a card, what a night. Tomorrow night on TNT, AEW Dynamite, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, live from Chicago. With more on this big edition of Dynamite coming to Chicago, let's go to By the Numbers. And here's Alex Marvez.
This is Alex Marvez. Let's go by the numbers for AEW Dynamite coming up Wednesday night, November 27th in Chicago at the Sears Center Arena. Our first number is 88. That's the number of days it's been since AEW was last in the Windy City. It also represents how long Kenny Omega has been stewing since suffering a loss via referee stoppage to Pac on our All Out pay-per-view show. Kenny will get his first shot at one-on-one revenge coming up at Dynamite. Our next number is 0, as in the number of times that Chris Jericho has lost in AEW until being pinned by Scorpio Sky in the main event of a recent Dynamite. Sky is going to have the biggest match of his 17-year career when he faces Le Champion in Chicago. And our final number is 8, as in the number of stitches that Cody needed from damage suffered in his match against Chris Jericho at Full Gear. The cut was then reopened by MJF and Wardlow during an attack at AEW Dynamite in Nashville. Cody is going to address all of this for the first time coming up in Chicago. You don't want to miss this show. Tickets still available, AEWTix.com, or watch us on TNT.
We also, at this time, have a big announcement concerning AEW Dynamite. Dynamite is coming to Ohio for the first time ever. We're coming to Cleveland at the Wolstein Center at Cleveland State, and it's all coming your way Wednesday, January 29th. Tickets will go on sale, mark this down, this Friday, November 29th. Of course, that's Black Friday. It's our debut in the Buckeye State. Tickets available at AEWTix.com beginning this Friday. Also, don't forget, select seats are available for tomorrow night's Dynamite event in Chicago. And of course, as we've been telling you, that's at the Sears Center Arena. The following week, on Wednesday, December 4th, AEW Dynamite will be on campus at the State Farm Arena at the University of Illinois, home of the Fighting Illini. Wednesday, December 11th, AEW Dynamite comes to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. It'll be at the Curtis Colwell Center in Garland, Texas. The very next week, Wednesday, December 18th, we'll be in Corpus Christi, Texas at the American Bank Center. So make sure you join us down in Corpus Christi for that event. Wednesday, January 1st, the homecoming edition of AEW Dynamite. It'll be in Jacksonville at Daly's Place. Wednesday, January 8th, we're coming to the Memphis, Tennessee area. That's right, we will be in South Haven, Mississippi at the Landers Center. Don't forget to join us in the Memphis, Tennessee area. And then on Wednesday, January 15th, it's time for AEW Dynamite in Miami. It'll be at the U on campus at the Watsco Center in Coral Gables. Tickets to all these events available at AEWTix.com.
Are you ready to join the revolution? This is your chance to wear what the stars of AEW Dynamite wear on television each and every week. And there's only one place to get it all. Shop AEW.com. All your favorite shirts, hats, jackets, and more are available with just one click of the button. Shop AEW.com with over 100 items online.
Wow, an absolute first, guys.
Shop AEW 10 days of Black Friday. Get 25% off at shopaew.com today.
Over the past few weeks, we have witnessed a transformation. Brandi Rhodes. She's unveiled what is sure to become one of the most dominant forces in the women's division in AEW in Awesome Kong. It's Awesome Kong's debut on AEW Dark as she goes up against the librarian, Leva Bates.
Is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, being accompanied to the ring by the librarian Peter Avalon, the librarian Leva Bates.
And Sean Spears, you know what the best thing about this entrance song is? No rights fees.
Were you expecting me to laugh out loud at that?
I was hoping, at least for a chuckle.
No, Indianapolis, we said shh.
They got a point. Everybody should shut up.
Indianapolis, Indiana. A place with rich sports heritage. Home of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where they host the Indy 500, the Boxyard 400. Whatever, dude. Doesn't matter. I don't watch NASCAR. Sitting in your car is not a sport, people.
He's got a point. He's got a point.
What I heard is that...
What he heard was that bass rumble go throughout the Farmers Coliseum here in Indianapolis.
I don't like when it gets dark.
There are 8 million ways to die. She's one.
And what's going on is that Awesome Kong will be in singles competition here. And she's got a voice, a very devious voice, whispering in her ear. And that voice belongs to Brandi Rhodes.
Are you surprised when you said
And her host, being accompanied to the ring by Brandi Rhodes. From Tokyo, Japan, Awesome Kong!
Are you surprised? Brandi and I have a rich history. Everybody kind of knows that. But we're seeing the real Brandi Rhodes now. This is her and all of who she really is. Deep, dark, I kind of dig it.
Well, if anybody can attest to having a voice whispering in your ear and unlocking something evil within you, I don't mean to overstep, but it might be yourself with Tully Blanchard.
Sometimes all you need is a little encouragement from the right person. And it looks like Kong has found exactly that.
Yeah, Kong taking those trophies, those locks of hair wrapped around her belt. We may see the blue hair of Leva Bates wrapped around Kong's belt before the end of the evening.
Now's probably not the time to read. I'd start praying. That's a good start. Go ahead, Leva. Give it a go.
Referee Mike Posey calling for the bell. Leva Bates trying to reason with Awesome Kong. That'd be like trying to reason with a brick. Immediately grabbing those locks of hair. Oh! Snapping the book on the nose of Kong. Leva Bates laying into overhead shots with the Mongolian chop there from Awesome Kong and again. That spinning back fist just took Leva Bates off her feet. And now Kong with the double underhook.
You've seen this before.
She's got Leva up. Showing her off. And the Soul Collector. Awesome Kong planning. And Peter Avalon thinking better of coming to the aid of his fellow librarian. Oh, look at that.
Logic set in for Peter.
Discretion, the better part of valor, but
The winner of this match, Awesome Kong.
If she wasn't dangerous before, wow. Look out now.
now she has Brandy in her ear, in her head.
Hold on, shh. This is my favorite part.
Oh, Peter Avalon just ate an organ. And Brandy offering up the knife to Kong. And Kong once again gonna take another trophy. What will it take? Who will be the one that is able to stop Awesome Kong and her rampage here through the women's division of All Elite Wrestling?
I have a way. I think I just figured out a way to avoid that rampage. All the ladies should just cut their hair short. Right? Got him. Smart. Handsome and smart.
Cannot deny
either of those.
The logic there, yeah. Or
thanks. It's good you wear a mask. I heard you had a face for radio.
And a voice for print.
Another collection of hair for Awesome Kong under the guidance of Brandy Rhodes. The career of Kenny Omega seems to be at a crossroads. If you caught a recent episode of Being the Elite, you know that this incredibly talented athlete is serious about making his way back and redefining his career. He's going to attempt to make a step in that direction this week on Dark as he squares off against Jack Evans from the team of the Hybrid 2.
And thank you very much, Tony Schiavone. We are here, myself, Excalibur, alongside Sean Spears for your main event of AEW Dark. It will be for the Mega Campeonato de AAA, the AAA Mega title.
You speak Spanish?
Poorly.
Acceptable. So correct me if I'm wrong, is this the first title defense in AEW Dark? Is this the first?
This is, yes.
Nice.
And
historic.
This will be Kenny Omega's first title defense of the AEW Mega Championship, or as he likes to call it, the Omega Championship. Sean Spears, how about this? You have a Canadian who broke out in the United States, made a name for himself in Japan, went to Mexico, won a world championship, and will defend it here tonight in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Kenny Omega is no stranger to championships. He's no stranger to winning championships all around the world. Clearly, he walks in the ring as a champion, but he's kind of from the prairies in Canada. So to a degree, we don't really count those guys out here on the main side. And because he's been away from Canada for so long, I'm far more Canadian than Kenny Omega is. But he is a very, very accomplished professional wrestler.
You got yourself from Niagara Falls, Canada, Kenny Omega from Winnipeg. completely different sides of the continent.
Yes, Toronto is better than Winnipeg. Tell Kenny I said that. This match to me is going to be interesting. Kenny, widely considered one of the greatest wrestlers of the planet today. What kind of mind frame is he in right now, coming off that full gear loss to John Moxley?
The full gear loss, and then going on tomorrow to face Pac on Dynamite. But before that, let's send it down to Justin Roberts, who has the introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest set for one fall with a 60-minute time limit is for El Mega Campeonato de AAA.
Really roll those R's.
Your referee, Aubrey Edwards. Introducing at this time, the challenger from Parkland, Washington, weighing 172 pounds, Jack Evans.
Jack Evans spending a large portion of his career in Mexico, would love nothing more to bring the title back with him.
And his opponent, from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, weighing 215 pounds, he is El Mega Campeón de AAA, Kenny Omega!
Kenny Omega receiving a hero's welcome here in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Everybody on their feet.
And Jack Evans is somebody that loves to jaw with the crowd. He loves to antagonize them, but he's not going to find a friendly face in this entire building.
No, and he can jaw Jack all he wants. Every time I talk to Jack Evans, I somehow get dumber. But that doesn't excuse the fact that he is one of the most fantastic athletes that we have here in AEW. The guy does things that are, in my mind, unreal for a human to do.
Jack Evans, 37 years of age, but flies like a man half that. I mean, he is one of the best high flyers. That's where the term Jack Evans from the heavens comes from. And he's one of the most durable, most resilient competitors.
I've never, ever heard that term, but that's a pretty good term.
Kenny Omega, the cleaner, looking to make his first defense of the AAA Mega Championship here tonight. But as I mentioned, Jack Evans, very experienced in Mexico. That's where he spent the bulk of the last 10 years.
So fast.
Competing in AAA. And he has really implemented that llaveo style, that Mexican submission wrestling style, to his repertoire very well. Kenny Omega, much more strike focused, especially with that V-trigger, that running knee strike to the back of the head.
Kenny also spent a great deal of time in Japan, correct?
Yes, he has.
So he's probably very well versed in submission wrestling and things of that nature as well. So as you can see, like that right there, this is going to be a nice little contest.
How do you prepare for that? What kind of training partners can you find that can do a headstand and do a backwards, an upside down mule kick to you?
You don't prepare for that. You just try to avoid it. And that's what I would have done. I would have rolled out, collected myself, reevaluate the situation like a professional.
And Evans calling Omega a fraud, trying to undermine his confidence. And Kenny Omega's confidence has been a big issue for him over the last few months. Since John Moxley got under Omega's skin. And you mentioned that match that Omega had with Moxley at Full Gear, coming off that loss.
Well, there's no doubt that Omega is always physically ready. Very rarely do you ever see him not ready mentally. So how much is he actually suffering mentally from that loss?
First, the Irish whip did Evans, but he ate the boot in the corner. Omega flips up and over the top of Jack Evans. Evans, though, just leaping over the top of Omega. Toe kick to the midsection. Now Jack Evans with the Irish whip into the ropes, throws a lariat. Omega slides behind with the speed of Omega with a basement drop kick.
Jack frozen in place so quick as Omega.
Omega over that top, the Kotaro Crusher, but Jack Evans breakdances his way out of it.
I have never seen that before in my life.
And Omega is
clearly
stunned.
He hasn't either.
It takes a lot to shock Kenny Omega, and Jack Evans just did it here in the opening moments of this match.
So who's your pick? I'm 2 for 2, by the way.
Your picks seem to be very fluid.
Yeah, because I know what I'm doing, and I know talent when I see it. I said that earlier tonight. I'm 2 for 2. I'm going to go with Jack.
Oh, Jack with the toe kick to the midsection, takes the side headlock. Omega sends him to the ropes. Jack cartwheels out of it. Rolling soul, but there. The Bandera sends Evans up and over the top, but he lands on the apron, blocks the right hand, answers the right kick of his own. Jack Evans went for the
pinpoint
corkscrew leg lariat, but that standing drop kick, some might say it was Shawn Spears-esque. 1, 2. 2 count.
Drop kick, hell of a maneuver. But that's what Kenny's going to have to do. He's going to have to match speed for speed with a guy like Jack Evans. And there's not many people on this roster or in this world that can probably do that, aside from myself.
Evans being brought back up to his feet and chopped right down by Omega Campeon. Hammer throw into the corner. Evans goes in hard. A great look at it as he just took a header down into the canvas. And this is where the strength advantage of Kenny Omega comes into play.
Well, it doesn't look like he's lacking any confidence at the moment now, does he?
Certainly doesn't, but Kenny Omega. Oh, the backbreaker on Evans. 1, 2. 2 count only as Evans kicks out. Kenny Omega looking at that matchup tomorrow night in Chicago on Dynamite with Pac as a way to avenge one of his big losses of 2019 when Pac, on just a few days' notice, subbing in for that injured Jon Moxley and shocking the world as he was able to defeat Kenny Omega at All Out. Now in the Canadian backbreaker is Jack Evans, and Omega now, oh, look at this. Just bending Jack Evans at such a grotesque angle.
This could do it.
Look at how far back the neck of Evans is wrenched. Omega, oh, just squatting low. Evans,
whoa.
Oh, reverses. 1, 2. Almost caught Omega sleeping. Omega, the sledgehammer across the spine, drops Evans to the canvas.
I don't care how flexible you are. That had to have hurt. That had to have hurt.
The human body is not designed to bend that way. Your tendons have a breaking point. Your muscles, all of those elements of the human body can only endure so much.
I have a feeling Kenny's going to push those limits just to see how much Jack can take. Oh, my.
Back body drop. And notice how Omega stalled and just dumped Evans almost on his head.
Okay, that's it.
Omega calling for the finish, maybe looking for the buckle bomb. Or, oh, just another sledgehammer shot.
He's really working over Jack's back.
Oh, Evans floats out of the powerbomb into a facebuster.
He needed that. He needed that opening. Now let's see what he does with it.
He's buying himself a window of opportunity. 1, 2. Oh, the standing moonsault. 1.
I can do that.
Standing on the back of his opponent, Jack Evans, into the pinfall, only garnering a 1 count, though, from referee Aubrey Edwards. Evans with that right hand, almost like a knuckle arrow to the temple. Hip toss. Jack Evans, impressed by his own strength, taking off his own feet.
Jack is out of his mind.
Lateral press. 2.
Tough, but out of his mind. Who's he talking to?
I think he was talking to the camera, but the red light obviously wasn't on, so it just looked like he was talking to himself. And would not be the first time that Jack Evans was seen talking to himself. And Omega using those strikes, working over the back.
Zeroing in on that injured body part.
And Jack Evans, such a proficient high flyer. You have to imagine, I mean, the damage done to his back, the damage done to his core by Kenny Omega will effectively neutralize those high-flying attacks.
Well, that's the thing, and here's something else I'll teach you tonight. If you hurt the spine, the legs don't work. The more you know.
Evans sent to the corner, going off the, oh, the back breaker by Omega, hooks the leg. 1, 2, and the foot across the bottom rope.
Surprised you didn't call that a Canadian backbreaker too. Killing me.
They call it the backbreaker. Okay, come on.
prairie. You can call his a prairie backbreaker.
Let it in post. Flying mare. And now Omega with that unnecessary kick to the back.
Unnecessary, that's great.
According to Jack Evans, it's unnecessary.
Go after what hurts. Kick him again, Omega. Kick him again. I don't like you, but kick him again.
And this could be that vicious streak that was awoken by John Moxley at Full Gear in that unsanctioned lights out match. Oh, Evans catches. He's captured the ankle of Omega. Now answering kicks of his own.
He's got some kicks.
Evans lands on his feet, but that chop stops him in his tracks. Oh, Evans, that front flip into the heel kick.
Every time Jack flips and lands on his feet, it's going to take a toll on his back. He's got to be feeling it.
And now
more high
Jack
risk.
Evans pulling himself up to that springboard moonsault to the outside.
At what cost?
Let's take another look at this. And Evans, not as fluid as we're used to seeing him. He really had to work for it. That's the damage to his spine, but still able to take to the skies and take out Kenny Omega on the outside.
But he's willing to risk injury to win this match. Is this live to fight another day, man? Live to fight another day. I picked Omega to win this.
Evans springing off the steps, catching that soul butt on Omega. And Evans is fighting for a world championship, the AAA Mega Championship, their top title in singles competition. Oh, snap suplex there. And along with that championship does come the champion's purse.
Yeah, but what if you can't walk afterwards? Come on, Jack. He's smart about this. I know that's a stretch.
What? I'll show you some ass kicking.
Now Jack Evans comes over the top into a pin. 1, 2, no! Almost like a 450. Evans pulling himself over, but you notice he's using the assistance of the ropes. He's not generating a lot of that momentum with those twisting motions of his upper body.
To a degree, it's somewhat admirable that a guy is willing to risk it all to win a match, to win a championship, to defeat Kenny Omega, which is no easy feat. But I think Jack's the kind of guy that's gonna,
that corkscrew enziguri to Kenny Omega as he is on his knees. Now Evans, standing sky twister press. 1, 2, no, 2 count. Kenny Omega able to kick out. Jack Evans, the bulk of his time, as I mentioned, of the last 10 years was spent in Mexico, but the bulk of that time was spent in a tag team with Angelico. Evans, not a regular singles competitor, but based on his resume, based on what he had done in Mexico, earning himself a shot at Omega Campeon.
Spitting in the face of Omega.
Jack Evans respects nobody in the teep. Nearly sent him through the ring post.
They kind of deserve that one.
And Omega.
The longer this match goes, it's going to favor Kenny.
Omega cinching up those arms, looking for the Snapdragon suplex.
Doesn't look like he's done either.
Usually likes to hit these in quick succession, but maybe one is all it'll take. Look at that vicious angle that Jack Evans just whipped back on his own head. Oh no, Omega looking for,
like you said,
a second one. Evans knows it as well as anybody in the building. One for the high roundhouse. Omega Snapdragon. And Jack Evans needs to put some distance between himself and Omega.
Told you, eye poke.
Does just that. Oh, Omega.
What is he thinking?
He's trying to clear out the fans. He's gonna throw Jack Evans into the front row. And you can see Evans clutching onto the ropes with every ounce of strength in his body.
This is that vicious side of Omega you talked about.
And now kicks the hand free. Oh! The running knee strike to the temple. No, Kenny Omega Snapdragon on the outside. Something dark was awoken within Kenny Omega after that match with John Moxley.
He snapped. He snapped. He's losing it here. He is punishing Jack at this point.
And Jack Evans just dead weight, a ragdoll at this point. He's got the legs crossed. Oh, cross leg Ushigarashi. 1, 2. No, Evans kicks out. Jack Evans with more heart than sense.
That is the first statement that I will agree with you on that you've said tonight. Nailed it. Like I said, he's got heart. I admire that to a degree.
Kenny Omega just laying in an absolute beating to Jack Evans. And Evans, I mean, is tenacious, as resilient as anybody. But now the buckle bomb, and Evans just, it was like a game of Plinko as he fell back into the ring. Evans sent to the ropes, elevated up, spine buster. 1, 2. No, Evans again kicking out. What will it take?
Jack is taking everything Omega has. Now, do you think frustration or self-doubt is starting to kind of creep back into Kenny's head here? Not being able to put Jack away.
You have to remember, Kenny's last match here in AEW, even though it doesn't count in the record books, was a loss. That's not something that Kenny Omega is used to.
I think in Kenny's mind, he counts that. That's when you're seeing this dark side.
Double boots up there from Evans as he floats out to the apron. Now the springboard, oh, into the neck breaker. Jack Evans creating opportunities for himself here. He makes the crawl. 1, 2, Omega kicking out. Omega a little rattled about that. You can see clutching the back of his head.
Need to go now, Jack. Don't waste time. Get up there.
Jack needs that sense of urgency, but all that punishment his back has endured. Evans up to the top. 450
Oh, got the knees up.
Oh!
Looked like Kenny got the knees up.
Kenny snuck in that right knee, and now Evans up to his feet. Oh, that big knockout knee strike. It's got him. Double underhook. Tiger Driver 98. 1, 2. Oh, Jack Evans kicks out. Kenny Omega can't believe it, and neither can these fans here in Indianapolis.
Or me. What is it gonna take? He's okay. I'm convinced Jack Evans is
Omega,
half a cyborg.
goodbye and good night. Bang! The V trigger finds its mark. And now hoists Evans up.
He hits it. He's done.
This can mean only one thing. One winged angel. 1, 2, 3. Omega Campeon retains.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Omega
The
is
winner
back.
of this match, and still Mega Campeón de AAA, Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega's singles record here in AEW improves to above 500. 3 wins, 2 losses.
Kenny Omega looking spectacular in that win against one of the most athletic and acrobatic performers in all of AEW, Jack Evans. All right, fans, once again, Dasha will rejoin us right here next week on AEW Dark. We'll have more great wrestling action. And make your plans to join us tomorrow night, live from Chicago for AEW Dynamite from the Sears Center Arena, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central, only on TNT. And I'm Tony Schiavone for AEW Dark.